My brother changed my mom's will behind my back. I, 59F, have a brother Miles, 60M, who changed my mom's will after she had 3 strokes and suffered from aphasia so he would get more of her assets than me. My family owns a bunch of farmed land and has incorporated the business. My mom and her brother owned all the shares before her death. In 2019 she had her will redrawn, when she was still of sound mind, and split everything 50-50. Well, while she was visiting my brother she had 3 strokes so she was never able to come back to the state she and I lived in. About 4 months before she died, my brother took her to an attorney to have her will redrawn. In the new will, he inherits a larger percentage of her stock than I do. He did this so he has controlling interest. This way he makes all the decisions and I can only take money from the corporation if he approves. While all this is happening, I'm 1,500 miles away selling her car and packing up her house. When I finished dealing with her possessions, I flew back to my brother's home to help take care of her. She was in hospice by this time. Once I got back, my brother told me he had her will redrawn because her out-of-state will was no longer valid. This is incorrect and lie number 1. Then I asked if we were still co-executors. He told me that the state he lives in does allow multiple executors. This is incorrect and lie number 2. After her passing, he went to the bank and opened her safe deposit box, hometown bank that we all still bank at. When he got back, he told me about some coins that were in the safe deposit box. I knew what these coins were as I had seen them many times before. A whole bunch of real silver quarters, value unknown. About a year later I asked him about them, wanting my half, but he denied knowing anything about them. This is lie number 3. He's also got 2 diamond rings of hers that I know I will never see again. All my mom's stuff has since been moved to a house owned by our farm corporation and he keeps giving her stuff to his kids without discussing it with me first. My uncle is still alive and currently has controlling interest in the corporation. He believes whatever Miles tells him, and it's usually things that make my uncle lose trust and confidence in me. This is lies plus plus. One night Miles and I were having a pretty heated argument, and he got mad when I swiped a shirt I had in my hand against his arm to prevent him from turning his back on the argument we were having. He turned around and knocked me off my feet, got on top of me and put his hands around my throat. I had bruises the next day on my neck. I want out of the business, but the only way out is to sell my shares back to the corporation. I don't want anything to do with a business that Miles and my uncle are involved in. I know they are going to lowball me with an offer or refuse to buy me out altogether. I'm so angry and hurt over all that's happened. I just needed to vent. I do have an ace up my sleeve and have contacted a lawyer. My plan is to fug them royally and make sure Miles spends the rest of his days paying off the loan they will have to get in order to buy me out. I may be an a-hole, but I really couldn't care less anymore.